Grim Reaper Thanatos. Among all of the countless undead the undead king Ainz Ooal commands, this being takes a special place, for it is among his most powerful summons. And with that said, I say hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at the Grim Reaper Thanatos. But before we do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel. And now to the point. The Grim Reaper Thanatos is, as mentioned, one of Ainz Ooal's strongest summons, and it is so powerful that it surpasses any and all mercenary NPCs the Great Tomb of Nezarec has ever summoned with gold. Now let that sink in for a moment. Just consider the sheer power the Grim Reaper has if it surpasses any of the monsters thus far summoned, the Hanzos, the 8-edged assassins, and whatever else Archibarnopal, the great library of Nezarec, has unleashed thus far. A library with access to 10 times more summons than the Great Tomb has gold to offer as a sacrifice for materializing them. As you probably could tell during the intro, the Grim Reaper Thanatos is based on the Greek god of death, and the description of him is just awesome. A heart of iron and a spirit as pitiless as bronze gives me goosebumps every single time. But the best thing about the description of him is that he is not only merciless, but hateful towards even the deathless gods. Which leaves us room to speculate that if the Grim Reaper Thanatos stays true to its Greek origin, he might be used against the slain theocracy, and even against the godkins, or the father of one. Aside from this rather awesome backstory, the Grim Reaper is, as mentioned, one of Ainz Ooal's most prestigious and strongest summons, the ones that require experience points to manifest. Side note: Ainz, while being level 100, could collect 90% of the experience that would be required to achieve level 101, and thus could use these summons without dropping in levels immediately. Also, he has avarice and generosity, the world-class item Mare has currently equipped, in order to dispense experience points for summons without having to use his own. So what I'm trying to say is Ainz Ooal can use this summon without dropping in levels. And while we don't know anything about his strength, other than it is a spirit and an undead, thus having all of the advantages and weaknesses of the undead and the spirits, like being immune to cold, sickness, sleep, paralysis, critical hits, and being given endless stamina, while being susceptible to crushing, holy, and fire damage, we know one very important thing about this summoning, namely that it is summoned by Ainz Ooal, which is something quite big in this context, because we actually have the stats of another undead that Ainz has created, an elder lich by the name of Iguva, and thanks to the mercy the merciless sorcerer king has bestowed upon him, even his least boosted stat had been increased by roughly 20%, while the most boosted stats, which is likely HP, is up by around 40%. And now imagine if this is done to the already level 90 Grim Reaper Thanatos that Ainz Ooal controls. It would likely be 30% stronger, so more or less the equivalent of achieving 27 additional levels. And this means that it could be a summoning that's able to go toe-to-toe with basically anything the new world throws at him. And I would really prefer to see that one of Ainz Ooal's most prestigious summons stays permanent in the new world, perhaps by using the body of the Elf King as a vessel. And as mentioned, it would also make for a great proxy against Platinum, or at least something strong enough to deal with his armor, while Ainz is focusing on the main fight. And speaking of battling the son of the Dragon Emperor, Pandora's actor is able to use the same summons of Ainz, with the same base strength, so even when pressed against a wall, Pandora's actor still has options if he finds himself in essentially a rematch with Platinum's armor instead of the actual Ainz, with the notable difference that this time he might go all out. Lastly, a bit of theory crafting. Rufus the undead that is described as the first follower of Soshana might either be a creation of a Grim Reaper, Soshana in that case, or a Grim Reaper itself. And I put out this possibility because while normal undead couldn't be stronger than level 40 before the weak and frail bodies of the pitiful creatures that will host them are torn apart from the sheer arcane entity that these undeads are. 600 years before Ainz Ooal appeared, humanity was on the verge of extinction, dragons ruled the world, and the average New World being had been much stronger than the average New World being today. Only the establishment of the continent-spanning empire of the 8 kings of Avarice and the merciless destruction of anyone and anything daring to resist them lowered the average level of the New World to the point that Ainz has problems finding suitable vessels for his greater and his greatest undead creations. Though again, I'm sure that Ainz will appreciate the existence of the Elf King, or rather his former existence, after he's done with him. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Badger Yi, Ben C, Chrissy, Sia, Death is Mercy, Dystopia the Second, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Haster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Kratos, Chiromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Free Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Mr. Shoes, Michael R, Michael Y, O'Kill, Paddy Pantum, Primus 11, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day and I hope to see you all again on my next video. Over and out.